Welcome. So in this video, we'll be answering this question before us. It says determine the equation for the following trigonometric function. So here's the trigonometric function that we need to determine the equation of. The first thing that I want you to notice is that this is clearly a sine function, and you can tell that just by looking at it. Also, you need to notice that it's clearly been reflected in the x-axis. So we're going to start by writing out that our answer is going to be y is equal to negative a sine of bx. So I've put the sign there because it's a sine function, and I've put a negative because it's reflected in the x-axis, and then I've put a dilation factor of a here, which is going to be related to my amplitude, and this b here is going to be related to the period. So let's now see if we can figure out what this a and b is going to be. So my amplitude is going to be what? Well, my amplitude is going to be 3 because it goes up 3 and down 3. So that means I can come here and I can rewrite this as y is equal to negative 3 sine of bx. The next thing I need to figure out is my period. Now remember, the way you figure out the period is by going 2 pi over b, and that will give us the period. So you go divided by whatever the coefficient, daisy, of x is. Well, we can tell by looking at the graph what the period is going to be. It's going to be pi, right? Because that's what it takes to go back to where it started from. So it's going to be pi here. So if I therefore want to figure out what b is, I'm just going to do some rearranging. So I could go 2 pi over pi is equal to b, like that. And then what I would do is I would cancel out those pi's. That pi will cancel with that. And I'm going to be left with, drum roll, 2 is equal to b. So now I would come over here and go y is equal to negative 3 sine, and b is 2x. And that is going to be my answer. So let's put a box around my answer. That's how you do it. Negative 3 sine of 2x. So hopefully that made sense. Let's just kind of review what we did there. We first noticed that it's a sine function, so we put sine. We noticed that it's reflected in the x-axis, so we put a negative there. And then we also put a and b here to note what our amplitude and our period are going to be for these. Then we looked at our amplitude. Our amplitude was clearly 3, so we put a 3 there. Then we figured out what the period is going to be, and that told us that b was going to be 2, so we put a 2 there. That's kind of how you got to think through these problems, and hopefully you found this useful, and I'll see you in the next one.